Hello, everyone. Today we'll be digging in a little bit deeper to understanding the major scale. And what we'll be looking at today are scale degrees, order, and how we can use this to transpose a song. Confused? Well, hang on. Let's just go over what we know from the previous video. So where we left off is that we were looking at a scale and using this pattern of A space BC buddies, space D, space EF, space G, space A, and then it repeats, right? So you always have these buddies, B, C, and EF. We figured out that there are patterns of whole steps and half steps. There's a whole step between A and B, which is the equivalent of, if I can draw this, 2 keys. That is a whole step. Right? So if you're going from A, which is here, to B, you have a whole step. And then BC, that was a half step. This pattern of A, BC buddies, D, EF, etc., everyone needs a space except BC and EF, helped us to create a C major scale. All we did was take this pattern and we started on C. Now, this is not coincidence. The piano was actually built to make playing in a key a lot easier, specifically the key of C. I won't dive into the history, but that's a quick synopsis of it. Okay, so we could make a C major scale by starting on C. And what we saw was the scale had C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then back to C. You can see this on the piano as well. This scale created 2 patterns of whole, half, separated by a whole step. And if you, again, a whole step is when you go 2 keys away, and a half step is just 1 key over. This is the familiar do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So let's hear this on the guitar. This would be, well, I was in the wrong key, but do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. I was singing about a fourth away, but it doesn't matter. Now I'm singing the right place. Again, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4 notes. That's a tetrachord of whole, half step. Then you go a step away, whole, takes you to A. Another whole takes you to B, and B to C is a half. So 2 whole, half tetrachords separated by a whole step. But then we took this further. What we realized is with this pattern, we could make a major scale starting on any note. Well, what does that mean? Well, for example, if you tried to play a G major scale starting on G, but only use the white keys, it wouldn't sound right. You would have an incorrect pattern. For example, the DEF creates a tetrachord that is whole, half, whole instead of whole, half. This is what it sounds like. So if we were to do this, it would be, that does not sound like a major scale. That D, E, F, G sounds a little off. But by using a black key, we can now create a major scale. Again, what we have here is D, E, F, G. That's not quite right. But by adding that F sharp, we'll have a G major scale by creating whole, half. So instead of, that's F natural, that's that key in parentheses. With the F sharp, we now have D, E, F sharp, whole, half. We now have a major scale. One more time. You start on G, whole away is A, whole away B, half. It takes us to C. Whole step gives us another 4-note pattern. D, E, F sharp, G, which we just figured out. There's our G major scale. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. But now we can take this a bit further. What we're going to talk about are scale degrees and order. So if you think about a scale has a certain amount of notes and then it repeats. You could name these notes by what are called scale degrees. And that's just a number with a little caret on the top, that little triangle looking thing. So it starts at 1, which is the root of the scale, and then it continues up in numbers as you go up in pitch. So you can see you have 1 is C, and then it goes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I said 8, but you could also say 1 again. It's up to you. You can restart after 7, or you can continue on in numbers, depending on what you want to get. This can be very useful in naming intervals. Sometimes people are a little confused. Well, how do I know where I'm going? Well, if you have scale degrees, it's just a question of math. For example, you could name all the major and perfect intervals from the root, starting on this scale, which is C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. We can create a perfect unison by playing the same C. On the guitar, you can do that. It's kind of cool. Piano, you can't. So that's a perfect unison. A major second is from the first scale degree to the second. A major third is from the first scale degree to the third scale degree. That's a major third. A perfect fourth is from C to F. Anyway, a perfect fifth is from C to G. And you also know from our previous assignments that there's actually 6 perfect fifths in a major scale, but I won't go too into that right now. But anyway, perfect fifth, first scale degree to the 5th scale degree. Major 6, first scale degree to the 6th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then the first scale degree to the 7th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a major 7th. Perfect octave is when you get up an octave to the other C. Great. So it's useful for naming intervals, but we can do more. How? Okay, well, let's take an example. If we know the scale of a song and we know the song's scale degrees, it can be transposed to a new key. Why would we want to do this? Well, this can be very useful when you're singing or trying to play a song in on a different instrument than the one it was written for. Or if you're singing in a different register. Let's say it was written for soprano, but you're a baritone. Well, I don't want to sing in B flat. That's too hard. I would rather sing in D. So you can kind of make those changes. I'm just kind of throwing things off the top of my head. But, or let's say something was written for a violin, but you're playing bari saxophone. Oh, well, I'm going to want to play in a different key. So let's do this. Let's take Mary Had a Little Lamb. There, we see it up there. Mary Had a Little Lamb. And what we're going to do is we're going to write out the C major scale like we had before with the scale degrees. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the same register is kind of nice because that helps make the identification a little smoother. Now what we'll do, oh, and remember, order matters here. 8 is not the same as 1. It's an octave away. So scale degrees are very specific to the location and where you start. Capiche? Okay, so we've got 1, right? That's where we're going to begin. And we can see that the first 3 notes of the scale are actually the first 3 notes of Mary Had a Little Lamb, just in reverse order. So you've got C, D, E, and then Mary Had a Lamb is Mary Had, E, D, C. So let's put those numbers onto the scale. We've got, I know we can't put the carats on No Flight, so I didn't put it on there. But if you want to draw them in later, kudos, extra points. But now you've got 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3, 5, 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 1. That's Mary Had a Little Lamb, sung with the lyrics of scale degrees. Now let's put this into the key of G. Let's go to No Flight and I'll show you how this is going to work. Okay, so here we are in our No Flight blank slate. And I'm going to start by writing out the key of G. 1, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. That's not right. I got to change something there. G, remember, F natural. We got to switch that to a sharp. Let's make sure it sounds like a major scale. G, A, B, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Great. Now, okay, now we're cooking. Now let's label under text here the scale degrees. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, how are we going to do this? Well, let's go back to this other transcription, or not transcription, but this labeling of scale degrees that we've done. Here we see we've got 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3. Okay, all we got to do is take that pattern and apply it to what we know. So where do we start? Do we start on 1 or 3? That's right, it's backwards on the first 3 notes. It was, whoops, I'm in the wrong key. I need to be in the new key, right? So 3 is actually B. B, A, G. Well, then what happens? Well, I'm going to flip over here real quick. Oh, we see then it goes back to 2. So 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3. And what's next? 3 is a half note. Cool. That's a 4, 3. Great. And I make that a half note. Now let's put in the lyrics. So we've got 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3. Great. It's going pretty well. Let's add some measures on here. That is done. Oh boy. There we are. Measure after this. About there, I think. And then it goes 2, 2, 2, 3, 5, 5. Okay, let's get 2, 2, 2. 2. Here we are. A, 2, 2. Whoops, that should be quarter note. One more. 2. That should be half note. Remember, I'm using this as like a key so I can figure out what note to pick. If I'm confused, oh, wait a second, it's just right there in the scale. In fact, let's do this. Let's also make sure we're putting in the performance text G major scale with scale degrees. That's our key. Okay, back to here. We got 2, 2, 2. Then what happens next? 3, 5, 5. Okay, great. So 3 is B. And then it goes 5, 5, 5 is, and notice how I'm singing as I do this. The more you sing and say what you're trying to get, notice how I sing the scale degrees, the more it gets in your head and the clearer this gets. The more you just kind of hunt and peck without listening or singing or saying the scale degrees. Look at, that's 3 things that help you. So I highly suggest going through this process because it's just going to make learning this that much faster. Trust me. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask. Okay, so we've got 3, 5, 5. 3, 5, 5. Then it goes, Mary had a little lamb. Okay, and I'm going to actually title this while we're here. Mary had a little lamb. So we know the song and where it starts. But then it goes, Mary had a little lamb. So it's really 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3. It's just the same thing. I'm going to just copy it. I got it. And if I don't, I'm going to check it afterwards. Oh, I can get rid of that because I already have it up there. 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3. Let me check though. Yep, there it is. 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3. Okay, cool. So 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3. I'm just going to copy this. But it's different. There's one more 3. Okay, so it's close, but I need to change this to quarter note. Add one more here. 3, 3, 3, 3. Then I gotta do something new. 2, 2, 3, 2, 1. Okay. 2, 2, 3, 2. Oh, great. It gave me a new measure. 1. That's where we started. And that's a whole note. And let's finish that out. Whoops, that should be a 2. So lyrics are 2, 2, 3, 2, 1. Now we have transposed Mary Had a Little Lamb to the key of G. That's kind of cool. All right, you want to see it with a different song? I've got another one prepared. Let's do, oh, wait, be sure to title it Mary Had a Little Lamb in G. Cool. Full song. Anyway, that's enough. You could put your name on here. Student name if you want. And I would know it's yours. Great. Okay, let's do a new one. I would like to do something I've already prepared. Oh, by the way, save it. All right, so what I've done here is I've written out Frere Jacques, or Frere Jacques. That's the Friar John, right? And here's what it sounds like. By the way, I've done this in cello. If you ever want to change the instrument, come up here and you can just add a part. And I went to bowed strings and, excuse me, double bass. I put in double bass and did double bass. That's how you can do that instead of piano. But if you just want to do this on the bass clef of the piano, that's fine. I've also changed the tempo to 60. By the way, if you change the tempo, you might have to delete the second. For some reason, it only changes one measure unless you select the whole piece. So if you want to change the tempo to the whole piece, do that and then go to tempo. Okay, anyway, so we've got this song, Frere Jacques. What we're going to do now is we're going to try to figure out the key it's in. Well, a pretty good indicator is the note that it starts on, or better yet, the note that it finishes on. What note is that? Well, this is F up here, then we've got E below, D, it's a C. So I think what we've got is something in the key of C. And let's try it out. So we've got C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And look at all the notes in here are all in there. No sharps or flats. Okay, so we've got something in C major here. Now, do notice G major is only different by 1 sharp. So you might not quite know. That's why knowing what the last note is really important, because almost always in Western music, you end on the note that's the tonic of the key, which is the scale degree 1. Okay, so here we have a C major scale, and we're going to put in the scale degrees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. As I said, you could kind of start over 9. Now what we need to do is put the scale degrees in for Frere Jacques. Well, it starts on 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. We see that, right? 3, 3, 1, 2. Okay, and then it repeats. 1, 2, 3, 1. Let's go over here. Okay, what is that? That's an E. E is 3. 3, 4, right? Because it's just going stepwise. So 3, 4, 5. That's repetition, right? We got those 3 are the same. So that's together. Another 3, 4, 5. Hopefully I'm not going too fast. I might be. Now, where are we at? Okay, so we're at 5. That's the same note. We've got 5. It goes up 1. So that means it's 6, 6, back to 5, 4, 3, back to 1. Notice, again, repeats. 5, 6, 5. We got a 4, 4, 3, 1. And then we have 1 again. What is this? Well, remember how I said the numbers could repeat? So if you thought about it like that, you'd have 1, 7, 6, 5, 1, 1, 5, 1. That's the tricky part. So hopefully that makes sense. So those scale degrees can either repeat or they can start over. But since we started at 1, what do you have? -5? It doesn't make any sense. So what we're going to do is just have 5. Make sense? Let's listen to the scale. Just Cool. All right, so make sure you've got all this written out, because now what we're going to do, let's add some measures. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 measures. Let's add 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what we're going to do is we're going to transpose this. So we're going to the key of G. So we're going to change this song so it sounds the same in the key of G. Well, first, let's create a G major scale. So let's find a G. And the G up here would be quite high, so let's use the G down here. We've got G, A, B, C. Notice same notes so far. D, E, F, G. Well, that F needs to be what, right? Does this sound like a major scale? G, B, C, D, E, F. Now that's a whole step F to G, right? If we use the piano, we can even see that. Watch it again. Oh, wait, no, you can't watch it. Whoops, I'm changing everything to F. But that F, see where it is? That's a whole step to G. It needs to be a half, so you can just press that key and it'll do it for you. That's kind of cool. So now we've got the right key. Let's put the scale degrees in there. Under text. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Great. Now let's turn Frere Jacques into a song in the key of G major. Well, where do we start? Well, we got to start with 1. What's 1 now? G. Great. And we need 8th notes. Well, let's get a note and we'll change that here in a moment. We got G. We'll turn that into duration of moving the magic head. 8th note. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 1. Then it repeats. So let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 1. And just so we know what we're doing, let's put out the text of scale, which is scale degrees. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. What happens next? 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. Okay. So that means start on 3. 3 here. G major is B. Okay, so 3. And that's an 8th note again. Oops. 3, 4, 5 is a quarter note. Following what's happening here? We're just transposing this to G, using the scale degrees and this key to help us out. 3, 4, 5, 3, 8th note, 4, 5. Now, how are we doing? We need 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1. So let's do that. 5, that should be an 8th note. 6, 5, 4. Oh, wait, I've got the wrong. Those should be 16th notes. So we've got 5, 6, 5, 4, 3 is an 8th note. 1. Let's fill these in just so we know where we're at. 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1. And does it again. 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1. 5 is a 16th note. 6, 5, 4, 3 is an 8th note. 1. So we'll put that in there again. 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1. And now let's get, how does it end? 1, 5, 1. Remember the 5 below. So you got 1, and that is an 8th note. How do we find this note? Well, let's start. We go 1, 7. And you can watch the keyboard. 6, 5, 5. That's deep. So 1, 5, 1. This probably wouldn't be a good key for me. But that 1 is quarter note, and then it repeats. 1 is an 8. Cool, and let's finish that with text. 1 5 1 1 5 1. Great. Now let's put let's just label the scale here with performance text. Oops. G major scale. Let's label this one up here, performance text, as C major scale, which I forgot to do. C major scale. Maybe do that at the beginning there, so it gives you a hint. And then we have Frere Jacques in C. Frere Jacques. And G major scale. Now we have down here. Whoops. Song begins here. Performance text. Frere Jacques. And G major. Oh, and speaking of which, I'd like that to be a little more complete. And C major. Cool. Hey, we did it. Let's listen to what we have. So we have C major scale, 6 7 8 1 2 3 1 1 2 3 1 3 4 5 3 4 5 5 6 5 4 3 1 5 6 5 4 3 1 1 5 1 1 5 1. Now let's go. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 1 1 2 3 1 1 2 3 1 3 4 5 3 4 5 5 6 5 4 3 1 5 6 5 4 3 1 1 5 1 1 5 1. Great. So now we can transpose, and we just kept it to G major for now, but you could transpose to any key. And next week we will do that. But for this week, transpose Mary Had a Little Lamb to G major in your note flight. And be sure to write out the G major scale first with scale degrees in the lyrics. Also do the same thing for the song. Then write out a C major scale and bass clef with scale degrees. Write out Frere Jacques on your own, and I will send you a PDF. Well, the PDF will be on there, so you can see it a little bit easier, so you don't have to do it from the video, but you can follow along in the video. That would be fine. But then you're going to write it. So after you write out Frere Jacques and C major in the bass with scale degrees in the same register as the C major scale you wrote, write out a G major scale, just like I did with scale degrees, and transpose it. Great. So you're getting some good work in on how to use a scale and with respect to order and key. Oh, keys. We'll talk about that more in a little bit. Okay. Have fun.